All right, guys. So if you're still watching from the gameplay, thank you for staying. And if you are just joining us, guys, we are reviewing a game by Aaron Hansen called Fantasy Flush, which he is going to be releasing on Kickstarter, hopefully by the end of February, if not early March. I shouldn't say it like that. At the end of February or early March, as soon as physically possible, guys. We will update that in the description. But we just played it, and this is it. Let's show you. So all you need, guys, this is actually, it looks much worse on camera. It looks worse than it felt when I was doing it, when I was doing the whole, kind of spread or whatever. Let me try it again real quick. About the same. So, yeah, so we have this, guys. We have this and that. And these are basically, as you can see, when I flip these over. Oh, man, hold on. This would have been sick if I was like, as you can see. That's a mess. Okay, hold on.
Try it again.
And as you can see, guys, as I flip these over, these are the character cards, guys. And it's called Fantasy Flush. It's hard to say. It's called Fantasy Flush for a reason, guys, because it's a card game. Okay. But it also has a fantasy theme on it. Okay. So as you can see, we have things like assassins. Okay. Those actually exist, I think. Goblins, obviously fantasy. Wizard. We have a dragon. We have an archer. This has worked out beautifully. My golly, every card. Yes. And then I think we are missing the queen. And there's not very many barbarians, as we have come to find. Because oh my golly. And the barbarians are kind of borderline just broken. But there's not that many in there because we haven't seen very many. So there's the king. Those are the character cards, guys. And then you have these castle cards. Okay. And what's cool about this game, first of all, is that... Let me just throw those out there. I'm tired of doing this whole spread thing. It's really gotten old. Okay. So anyway, you get the point. Okay. So those are the castle cards. There's a smaller deck of castle cards, and each one has a point value on it, guys. So just quick explanation. Basically what you're doing is you're playing across from each other, and you're trying to put on these character cards on these castles, and they have to match, kind of like Uno. Some of these cards are going to allow you, like this guy, to switch the colors. So if you start with the yellow, I could play this guy here, or I could play him here. But if I played him here, I could play a blue or yellow card off of him. What we're trying to do is add up all the points to equal this value of the castle and storm that castle, and you get to take the card. Once you've reached that point value, you're basically racing the person across from you, reach that point value, storm the castle, and take the card, okay? And the game ends once all of the castle cards are taken. So, another thing is that each of these guys that have a symbol have a special ability. The archer allows you to basically discard your hand and refill. The wizard allows you to move some cards around. So if you slap a dragon, like you may or may not have several times last game, on somebody's deck, the dragon means you can't actually do anything until the dragon's removed, but the wizard can actually move the dragon or different cards around. There is a... this symbol right here means you can kill a dragon or take out your the bottommost card from the opponent's stack. Okay, so what that's good for is because if your opponent is trying to, or is almost at that point value, you can just take the dreams away in one fell swoop.
We didn't do enough of that in our last.
We didn't really do enough of that. I didn't really need to be honest. I don't want to know spoilers, but but I didn't really need to. Go watch and find out why. So basically, guys, Fantasy Flush, let's get into the review, okay? And as tradition follows, I'll start, okay? Or I'll ask you if you want to start.
No, go ahead.
You'll say no, and then I'll go ahead. Okay, so let me just point out the obvious, guys. The first thing that I love about this game, the first thing I really like about this game is this, okay? I pointed this out several times. I really like this 10, man. I've seen a lot of Kickstarter games that just come in like a little 10, and I was like, man, are you really getting your money's worth? And then I realized that, like, especially when life gets busy, it's the tin can that you go to, right? When life gets busy, you have a busy day or whatever. You don't have a lot of time at night. You put the kids to bed. You only have an hour to hang out and spend any time together. At the end of a night, this is what you go to, okay? It's small games like this which make it super convenient to just kind of knock out and play. So that's the first thing that I really like about this game. And all this fits right here, so it's travel size. Okay, I mean, literally any game is travel size technically. What isn't travel size? Is it just maybe anything you can't fit on a plane?
Just maybe say convenient instead of travel size.
I mean, your travel size.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I mean is, guys, obviously, is that you can take this anywhere, right? You can forget that you put this in your purse and you're digging around in your purse before dinner. I don't know why. But and then you find that you have this and you can just throw it out on the table and play a game because it's pretty quick. A normal game only lasts, I think, depends. The last game, never mind, no spoilers. We'll say it can last anywhere from I would say 15 to 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Maybe not. Maybe not 30.
10 to 20.
It was 10, maybe 10 to 20. Yeah, it's quick, but it's a satisfying quick. Okay, go ahead.
So I like the fact that this is a race and you have to constantly be looking at your opponent's cards as well as your own, deciding whether you're going to play offensive or defensive with your cards. I like the fact that the colors actually change up in your row. So you've got a lot of
variety. I mean, it's just there's a lot of paths you can take. I mean, you have pretty much constant options, right? Yeah. It's just a lot of options, and rarely, you know what? I say that, I was about to say, rarely do you find where you can't do something.
Well, that's not true.
But it's actually not true. And what is actually insane is the pressure you feel when you can't actually do something, and you see the other person, boom, boom, boom. I mean, there's not when that happens, you basically conceded that castle. There's nothing you can do at that point almost.
So it is luck. That's a whole lot of luck.
There's a lot of luck, yeah.
But also strategy.
Yeah, there's a good balance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's also a family fun game. It's one that you can just take out and play. Only a few symbols that you actually have to memorize, and so you can.
It's very accessible.
Yeah, you can tell anyone the rules and play right then instead of having to bore them with a long list of things that they have to remember.
Right. I mean, it's
quick and easy.
It feels like an Uno weight game, but a step higher, right? So it's Uno weight, but a little step higher because you have these symbols, right? And that is really. And obviously, there's a little bit more because you have, the castle values. You're trying to decide, is it worth, if you already have some on this castle and there's empty ones over here, do I try to take that one from you and start on some other ones? Or do I just let you have it? So there's a little bit more strategy. And with the symbols, I'm glad there's symbols in this game that allow you to do different things. They're definitely needed. And also the fantasy twist on it's good, right? Uno is you're just looking at cards, right? With numbers. And it's. After you play 6 games with your kids, it gets a little bland. I'm not going to lie, but we played this a couple times now, and it's been fun every time, right? And if you look at the wizard, he's the one, he's kind of moves the cards around, right, with his wizardry, and the knight is obviously killing dragons and killing cards or whatever, and the king is kind of just broken. Just an absolute boss. And I like that the queen is the diplomat, right? Mm-hmm. She's trying to just make amends, and it's neutral. You can play anything off her, play her on anything. And the dragon basically just stops you from doing anything. That's really cool. I really like that theme. One more thing that is really cool about games like this, where you have a simple rule set and it's kind of just elegant, is that you there's unlimited expansion opportunity for this, right? So, and a lot of times, I am kind of turned off by expansions. I mean, I still buy them, obviously, but I'm gonna be honest. After I buy an expansion, a lot of the time I don't even play the game very much anymore because I'm I feel I need to play with the expansion, but it's so much to set up. It's so much to learn and relearn, because I have to relearn the base game every time we play these, right? Because we have so many. Then I have to learn the expansion. I'm oh my golly, a game like this, he can literally we could play this game, just like Uno. You could play a limited number of times, and it's just always okay. It's a fun game, right? But with an expansion, it just kind of refreshes that, right? It just refreshes that experience. So, and with this type of theme, I mean, unlimited number of characters that you can add, and they don't all have to. Again, they could just be. It's just nice. It's visually appealing. It's aesthetics, right? With some of the characters, some actually have the symbols, so we could add some more symbols, or you could just add some more characters, and both will do it. We'll add something very valuable. So let's move on to critiques, and then we'll give our final review at the very end.
So one of the things that I wish was a little bit different is the first time we played this game, we had to shuffle the discard pile quite often. And I'm not sure why that was different than this one. I think it was just the way that we played. There was a little more offense, a little more defense going on.
That's a really good question, actually. I think it's because Because if you're not playing cards, you're not pulling from the deck very much. So we're just not able to play a lot. I don't know.
I don't remember. But we did have to shuffle the deck quite a bit. And so I would just want a little bit more there so that you didn't have to shuffle quite as often.
Yeah, I agree with that. The so this is the deck, and again, like, well, I haven't said this yet, but this deck right here is so this is about as thick as it is. And here's the thing. You don't need any more cards.
Right.
This is sufficient for a fun game.
Right.
Right. But it would help to have a little more volume so that you don't, because it really did happen. In our first game we played, and I think I just realized, well, I mean, it shouldn't matter because they're still being distributed.
There was a lot of offensive.
Okay. Yeah. So we were just playing a ton.
Playing a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's interesting. But like we did find ourselves shuffling like probably 4 or 5 times. And it's not like it's a big deal.
It's just a pause in your game.
It's just a pause in your game. Exactly. So if they were just like a little bit more here, I think that would definitely help the game.
Yeah.
Just literally double every card. Cause I think the number of cards is right. Like the barbarian is really insane. Right. And he shouldn't show up very much. The king's same. And I think the number of cards in there of like the themes are good. We just need more of each. So yeah.
And also when we played our first time, we literally tied. We had 2 7s. Each of us had 2 7s or 2 8s and 2 9s. Like we tied completely. Like there was no
100% tie.
Yeah. So I think maybe in that case, maybe have like one castle that is a 10 and one castle that may be like
that's actually a good point.
Is
there an even number?
So there's an even number because that's how we tied.
Oh yeah. So you're right. Exactly. So we did actually get the exact numbers, the amount of numbers.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so maybe throwing in one higher one, or maybe not having an equal number so that you don't have the possibility of tying like that. I think that would be.
But here's
helpful.
the thing, Aaron. Okay. Aaron, look me in the eyes. Why is there no tiebreaker? Okay. Listen, I can't rest. Okay. I'd rather lose than end in a tie. Okay. I can't take it, man. Okay. And we can't make up our own because it just doesn't feel right.
Well, we could have done it's short enough to do like the best 2 out of 3 or something like that.
True.
It's short enough and be able to do that. We just didn't. We tried a game right after.
Yeah. There's nothing in the rules, man. Nothing in the rules. So that is the most disappointing part for me, to be honest, is there no tiebreak. I need to know.
But just say play best 2 out of 3.
Yeah, best 2 out of 3 works perfect.
If you come to a tie.
If you tie 3 times, then sorry, bud.
But again, if just adding like a number, like a value of 10, just one extra card so that they're not all even. Can I throw in something else?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would really like to play this game as a variation like Speed. Like you don't have to reshuffle the cards. Like you just play it like Speed, and whoever takes the castle first is who gets the castle. Does that make sense?
That'd be interesting. Like the only way that would work, I think, because like if you wouldn't want to reshuffle, then you'd have to be like,
the
take colors don't matter.
You couldn't take all the castles.
Yeah,
you couldn't play it till the castles were over. But I would like to play it at Speed.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe.
This is a card game, right? So there's a lot of variant potential as well. This is just the base game, guys. And again, I'll say that with a game like this, with harder games where there's a lot of rules and a lot of complexity and people have put a lot of time, you have to critique it on that level, right? Like I've played some games that are horrible, terrible experiences, right? They're really big box games. I'm not going to say any names. Big box games, hated them. Sent them right back. Like I just traded immediately or sent it back. I was like, I'm done, dude. I cannot stand this game. It's not for me. A game like this, you can't really go wrong. I mean, this to me is on the same level as like, so we've been really busy lately, right? So like, it's fun to play games like That's So Clever. We have that game. We play a lot, right? That's So Clever. That's the Yahtzee style one, kind of.
Oh, yeah,
it's ish. And then we have Tiny Towns that we play. We have Azul that we play. Patchwork. And so this is just a welcome addition to a game that we can pull out, put on the ground, and just play right on the carpet. Have a good time. No need for like a lot of cleanup, not a lot of setup. Good time. There's no reason for me not to own this game.
Right.
There's no reason for anybody really. I mean, it's going to be affordable. You know, it's just it's a tin can game right there, and it's accessible. It's easy to learn, easy to pack in wherever you're going and travel with. It's just there's really no reason not to. Again, yeah.
This will be one that we play over and over.
Yeah.
And when our kids are, Ember's probably old enough.
Yeah, he's probably old enough.
Yeah, this will be one that we take out and just play at night. For something else to do instead of watching TV. So it's definitely a good game. It's fun.
Is it going to revolutionize the board game space? No. But is it going to revolutionize potentially your night? Maybe. Like, I just want to play. I'll just pull it out and play. So
I want to play right now.
Yeah.
Because especially of from the way the plays.
No spoilers though. Right. Go watch Out and Find Why she wants an immediate rematch. But
we probably will do it right after this.
I just want to say, Aaron Hansen, great game, man. I've seen people try to do easy games before, not easy, but like more simple as far as like rule set, right? I mean, it's elegant. There's strategy, and it's satisfying to win.
Rules aren't hard.
Yeah,
very easy.
I've seen people try to do games like this too, and I just some games just don't have that element of satisfaction. It's like it's like trying to where people go wrong with a game like this is they try to be something they're not. They try to add a little bit too much rules, and you're like, am I really going to commit to all these rules? And do I really need this complexity for a card game? And it just gets it's like it just kind of takes away from what it is. And what this game knows what it is, and you know what it is. And we know what it is.
And you can play it over and over and over and never lose.
Yes.
Never lose the fun and experience of it, I don't think.
No, I would say
it would never get boring.
100% highly recommend just to have on your shelf for the end of a long day or a short day. You know what I mean? Just anytime.
Or a tournament.
Anytime. Tournament style, dude. Anything. Okay. Good game. Definitely recommend.
Buy a few to have a tournament.
Buy a few. They're good gifts, man. Give it to me. Guys, we are not paid to say this. Which is a game like this needs to be had because he made a good experience, right? He took time, made a theme, made it work right. It's a good time, and that's it. So congratulations to your design, Aaron. I know that, I mean, I have respect for anybody who makes a design at all, really, because that just takes time, but especially one that is, you know, that works and is successful. So congratulations. And guys, remember, it will be on Kickstarter, launching Fantasy Flush, launching soon on Kickstarter. I believe he said at the end, hopefully by the end of February, but if not, I'm assuming early March or even mid-March. So look out, guys. We will be posting information in our description. Thank you so much for watching, and we will definitely see you next time.
Sometime.
Sometime, whenever that may be. Guys, also, if you want us to review your board game, guys, that will definitely, we will do it 100%.
Is there an email that they can contact you?
There is. There happens to be an email that I will link in our description. If you want us to review your game, yeah, we will be happy and glad to do it. So thank you so much, but we will be honest, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and have a great one. God bless.